Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Finn here, and welcome back to yet another Premier League prediction video where... What is that? I smell 16 Premier League games over 5 days. No, that is not incorrect. Your ears are still working despite... But in Premier League Match Week 19, there will be 16 games over 5 days because some teams will be playing twice. But worry not, ladies and gentlemen, I will still be giving you my full match analysis and prediction for each of those 16 games. Which, of course, let's not waste any more time. This is going to be quite a hectic video, so let's jump straight into it. And of course, teams will be tired. They will need your luck. So in order to give your team luck for this match week, no matter who you are, hit that like button down below because it is a guaranteed certainty that if you hit that like button down below, your team will do well over this Premier League match week. It's not a scam at all, I promise. But the first game of Premier League Match Week 19 will be between Fulham and Chelsea. Now, yes, I know normally I also give a player to watch for each game, but I don't want this video to drag out too long, so for this specific video, I won't do it. But Fulham versus Chelsea, I will give Chelsea a 3-0 win. They are the better team overall, although Fulham have been getting quite a few draws as of late, a few decent points. Squad depth around this time of year is very, very important because there are so many games in a row, teams are tired, and in terms of Chelsea, they do have the better squad depth, so they really should win versus Fulham. They are the better team overall, and it just depends on their attacking ability because although, I mean, look, Timo Werner this season has been horrible for striking the Chelsea position, and I will say this, they are probably better off bringing Peter Cech to the striker position. Screw bringing him back as a reserve goalkeeper. Stick him up front with the likes of Pulisic. I think he'll do a better job there. But talking about teams that are having troubles with strikers, next up we've got Wolverhampton Wanderers and West Brom. Now, the reason I say that is obviously because Wolves are still without Raul Jimenez, and the 7 Premier League games that Wolves have had without him, they've only won 1. But I'm still going to give them a win versus West Brom. I mean, out of all teams, even without a striker, a team without a striker, even with Peter Cech up front, could probably score versus West Brom at the moment. I mean, I really like West Brom, I like Sam Allardyce, but I mean, 4 games, 13 goals conceded, and only 1 win this entire season. I just really can't justify that, and even bringing the great Robert Snodgrass to West Brom won't help them beat Wolves, unfortunately, and I think Wolves will probably get a comfortable... Leeds United versus Brighton is next, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, finally a South African in the Premier League because Percy Tau has returned to Brighton. And guys, I'll say this right here, right now. For every goal Percy Tau scores in the Premier League this season, I'll donate 10 Rand to any charity of your choice. So what I want you guys to do is put a charity down in the comment section down below. Please put a real charity, something that does mean a lot to you. And at the end of the season, I'll be donating that money to that charity. I mean, it really is a win-win situation. I mean, I get to help a charity on another hand, and a South African does me proud. And if he doesn't, I don't have to get rid of all my money. It's really a win-win situation, but is it going to be a win-win for Brighton versus Leeds? Unfortunately, I don't think so. I think Leeds United will win. I think they've just shown better attack throughout the season. Melier looks good between the posts, and at the end of the day, Brighton have only got 2 wins this Premier League season. So in order for me to give Brighton a win, I need to see more consistency from them. But talking about consistency, next up we've got 2 teams that have been very consistent. It is going to be West Ham United versus Burnley, and this is going to be tricky because West Ham United have just gotten rid of Haller, saying that Antonio probably is their better attacker, but they still need to get a backup. It's tricky, but I think West Ham United are going to beat Brighton. I think they've got a better squad overall. I think Burnley can be rock solid and almost impossible to break down. But if there was one team that could do it, it is West Ham because they themselves are defensively solid. They do fantastic passing in the midfield. They haven't been that convincing with results as of late. But you know what? Better team overall, and I think that they will be the better team on the day. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves, if I may say so, a tiny bit of a spicy match. In fact, a flaming hot match, as it is between Aston Villa and Everton. And talking about flaming hot, it is so hot in my room. I feel like Steve Bruce at a buffet. But Aston Villa versus Everton. Now, this is after the Aston Villa Spurs game has been postponed till a later date. So hopefully this game still happens and hopefully all the players are doing well. But versus Everton, I actually think Everton have been the better team this season. They've only lost one game over the last month. But guys, I'm going to go for the shock result and give Aston Villa the win. They've done so well against top teams the entirety of this Premier League season. And attacking wise, I think they've been in amazing attacking form as of late. Through the likes of Al Ghazi, through Grealish, through lots of their players, they are looking really strong attacking wise. And because of that, I think that Aston Villa will get the win. Now looking at the next game, a very similar situation. Leicester City versus Southampton. Now I'm saying similar situation in the fact that I think Leicester City are the better team, especially throughout the season. But I still think Southampton will win. This is not the same Southampton team that lost 9-0 to Leicester City last season. This team has so much more confidence behind it. Although they are not as good as Leicester City this Premier League season in terms of results, I've seen some beautiful team plays from Southampton, and it actually is just a matter of fact of getting 1 or 2 goals per game. I think that they probably actually are the better team. Leicester City just look like a better team on paper because I don't think I've been very convinced by Leicester this season. They leave their wins way too late and they are not clinical enough. Next match, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a tiny bit easier to predict as it is Sheffield United versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Look, Sheffield United, halfway stage of the Premier League, only 2 points from 2 draws. Those are all their points this Premier League season. Versus a team that's got one of the deadliest striking combinations in the Premier League era. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be an obvious one to predict. Let's just say I know which one I would put my money on, and I would hope Tottenham Hotspurs beat Sheffield United, and I think that they will by quite a comfortable margin of 4 goals at least, because Sheffield United, I mean, I liked them last season, but they've fallen apart in every aspect of the game this season. They are so frail. They are like Judi Dench of the football world without the talent part. So I do think Tottenham Hotspurs will win, and I really do expect Jose Mourinho's men to win quite comfortably. Now looking at our next game, back to another hard one to predict, and this is the game of the episode, Liverpool versus Manchester United. This is for first place in the Premier League, and Liverpool fans, listen, before all of you click off, I think Manchester United will win. But whoa, okay, I just heard, I could hear 5 people click off. Those must have been Liverpool fans. But the reason I'm saying that is because Liverpool, as of late, they are not in a good place. Yes, they got a comfortable win in the League Cup versus Aston Villa, but there were 5 youngsters in that game because as of late, Liverpool have lost points to Southampton, Newcastle United, Bournemouth, before that Brighton. They are not in a good place lately. I mean, they had to play Jordan Henderson as a centre-back. That's just a sign that he's not doing well. I know Liverpool fans think he can do everything, but unfortunately not. And versus Manchester United, I do think United will win. I think if both teams had their strongest players, I think Liverpool would win. But at the moment, because United have their strongest players and because they are 10 games unbeaten in the Premier League, because of that, they are looking like the better team. So that, Liverpool fans, if you have stayed on, is why I think Manchester United will win. Not because they have the better team, but because they have their better players that are not injured. That is purely why I'm saying that. Hopefully I have dodged a bullet. Manchester City versus Crystal Palace is next. Now, this is a fairly easy one for me to predict, and I think we're going to get one of those famous Manchester City 3-0 or 4-0 wins, because at the end of the day, they are just so much better than Crystal Palace. No matter how much Crystal Palace's attack has improved this season, I just can't see their attack breaking through that defensive partnership of Ruben Dias and John Stones, which in my opinion, one of the deadliest defensive partnerships in the Premier League at the moment. Now, unfortunately, everyone has a voice on the internet nowadays, and I've actually heard people say that they are the next Vidic and Rio Ferdinand, which my opinion on that is, no, not everyone should have a voice on the internet. That is stupid. I'm not even sure that that is Manchester City's own best defensive partnership. But you know what? I do think that they are strong enough to beat Crystal Palace defensively. Attacking wise, I think that they should do a decent job. Got lots of attacking depth. And even without their main goalkeeper, they were able to beat Chelsea and Manchester United. 7 games unbeaten at the moment in the Premier League. Manchester City should take this one easily. But talking about teams in form, a bit of an odd one. Arsenal versus Newcastle United, which, talking about Arsenal and form in the same sentence, it's the same as talking about Pep Guardiola and shampoo. It doesn't necessarily go well together, but you know what? Arsenal have won their last 3 games in a row in the Premier League. They beat Newcastle United just a few days ago in the FA Cup, so I think that they will repeat that result and get a 1-0 win versus Newcastle in the Premier League. I just think their attack just looks much better as of late. I think Rose Smith has looked very good, up and coming youngster. I still think Aubameyang desperately needs to score in the Premier League, but I do think that Arsenal at the end of the day, dare I say that they're in form? Alright guys, so we have now mentioned every team at least once this Premier League match week, but as I told you guys earlier, we are not done yet because some teams are playing twice in one match week. We still have 6 more games to go. I know it is a lot of content to absorb. Trust me, I'm sitting under this light and it is boiling hot, but I'll do it for you guys, which of course does remind me, if you are not subscribed, guys, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button down below. Of course, my goal on YouTube this year is to reach 1,000 subscribers and eventually get monetized. So of course, guys, please help me out with that dream. It would be much appreciated. But second part of this match week, first game, West Ham versus West Brom. Now, both of these teams are going to be very tired going into this part of the match week, but I do think West Ham United should take this win easily. I've said it multiple times. They are the better team from a goalkeeper all the way to attack. We're looking at West Brom. There's absolutely nothing about them that is a redeeming factor, bar maybe Johnston in the goalkeeper position. But at the end of the day, as I said, West Ham United got the better quality throughout the pitch, and I think they'll carry them in this game. Next game, though, is a bit of a tricky one to predict, as it is Leicester City versus Chelsea. And I'm sorry, Leicester City, but for the second time this Premier League match week, I'm going to say the better team is going to lose. I said that Leicester City will lose versus Southampton early on, and I think they'll lose to Chelsea again this time around, despite me thinking that they are the better team. Unfortunately, with all these games happening in a row, teams are going to be tired, and I think Chelsea have the better squad depth, and because of that, they should take this win versus Leicester City. I think Leicester City have a fantastic midfield, but in terms of other areas on the pitch, I do think they need to strengthen this transfer window. But at the end of the day, they will be tired. They have left wins way too late as of late. So I do think Chelsea will pick up a win here. Maybe. I don't know. As I said, I would rather play Peter Cech in a striker position than Timo Werner at the moment. Leeds United versus Southampton is next, and I do think Southampton should win this one fairly easily. Look, from time to time, Leeds United have incredible attacking ability, but they've still got the defense of a donkey on roller skates, which versus Southampton is not a good thing, because one thing Southampton have added to the game this year is control in the midfield, which versus Leeds United so far this season, what I've learned is when Leeds United don't have ball possession, they struggle off the ball. So because of that, I'm going to give Southampton the win, and I'm going to give them a pretty comfortable 2-0 win. And talking about a comfortable win, the next game is between Fulham and Manchester United, and I can only see my Reds getting a comfortable win versus Fulham, because it's not just Fulham, they're full problems. They are full of so many problems. You know what, Finn, that joke deserves more credit. But Fulham are full of so many problems at the moment in terms of defensive, midfield-wise, attacking-wise. They've got so much potential. They've picked up so many really decent points as of late, but at the end of the day, I still find that defensively they are ill-disciplined and they leave too many pockets of space, which versus a high counter-attacking team like Manchester United, it will cause problems. I do think Manchester United will win, but knowing Manchester United, anything can happen. I mean, we can beat absolutely any team in the world, but as I said, we're still the team that lost to Crystal Palace earlier on the season. But you know what? We are past that, I hope, and Manchester United should win versus Fulham. But now getting on to our next game, it is the second last game of the episode, which once again, guys, as I did say, if you have enjoyed, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. But now that I can get rid of my sad puppy eyes, second last game, Manchester City versus Aston Villa. That is a huge game, but unfortunately, although I said Villa are going to beat Everton, although I did say that earlier on, I don't think they'll beat Manchester City, because I think their team will be so tired after their previous game. We've had so many high attacking games for Villa, or so many really high profile games for Villa as of late. Manchester United, Liverpool, Spurs, Everton, now Man City. I think Villa are going to be pretty tired and they're not going to have the energy or the squad depth versus Manchester City, who once again has about 3 or 4 really good players in each position. So Man City really should win this one. But ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our last game. Out of all 16 games, the last game, surely the biggest game, it is. Let me turn the page. Suspense. Oh. Liverpool versus Burnley. Well, that's disappointing. I'm going to give Liverpool a pretty comfortable win overall. They are better all over the pitch, although they do have their defensive problems, even if they stick Henderson in defense. Woods and Barnes aren't doing well this season. Still attacking-wise, Liverpool are really just, let's be honest, I think Liverpool are miles ahead attacking-wise compared to Burnley, because Burnley could not hit a barn door with a tennis ball at the moment. Defensively, yeah, it's very tricky to break through, but I do think the Liverpool high-intensity attack will break down that Burnley's defense once they go shot by shot by shot. I think they're just going to be hammering down that Burnley defense, and eventually I think they are going to get a pretty comfortable result from that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what a big Premier League match week this has been. I hope you have enjoyed it. Obviously, Finn, FY, and obviously, if you want to see more of my predictions in the future, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification after that to be notified when I do upload more videos. But of course, hope you have an awesome day. Hope you enjoy this glorious Premier League match week. Definitely got enough football to last a while. And of course, stay awesome. Finn, FY, stay awesome. Cheers. Bye. I should probably at least.